Hi Stampin' friends, tonight we are using the Flowering Zinnias or Simply Zinnia. Simply Zinnia is the stamp set and bundle, and then the Flowering Zinnias is the entire bundle, the entire suite, excuse me. And there are so many pretty possibilities with this. Now it is kind of similar to the Marigold Morning that I loved last year, but these are clearly zinnias and they are very distinctive, and so I thought they would be fun to use also. I couldn't resist them. These will be available in the online exclusives, and you can see that it has some nice sentiments. The thank you so much is probably the one I would use the most, both due to the fact that it's simple and the fact that it is a small size that is easy to find a die or a punch that will punch it out of your paper. So I'm also going to show you real quick some of the patterns that are in this paper that matches, because like I said, it's a suite. These gorgeous guys I think are so pretty, and they would make a great scrapbook page, but they would also be beautiful when they're cut out. This piece is just kind of like a ditzy, kind of like a little calico print, which is nice. The backside is a petal pink polka dot, which to me is something I would use with something else. I wouldn't necessarily use the petal pink with this. I forgot to mention, the backside of this is a Highland Heather and kind of a, maybe a gorgeous grape, maybe a berry burst. And then this beautiful paper is Melon Mambo. You can see just kind of like the watermark, the dark of the zinnias on there. I think it could be interesting to color this one with maybe some white craft ink, just kind of highlight it like that and see what happens, or maybe Wink of Stella when we get that available again. The back side is just kind of a little, another little calico type print. Here is another beautiful print. It has some really bright colors, and it's on Flirty Flamingo pink background, and so I think it is gorgeous. And the back side is a pumpkin pie with stars. That's one thing about, I think, those stars, they are really stars that look like the centers, like the little centers of the zinnias. Okay, then this is the one that we love to use every time. You know, put your sentiment at the bottom, add a ribbon, and it's beautiful on any one of the colors that are in the paper. This one is a lot of fun because you could put your die cuts, or, you know, you could stamp and die cut and put those in the center. Now, when I say stamp and die cut, I mean this one right here, that you would stamp it, color it, and then die cut it and set it as if it's blooming right out of the paper. So I think that's very nice. And then the back side is just a diagonal, but I think that's a really pretty print. So let's get started. Also, as part of the suite are these beautiful shiny gems. They are sequins with adhesive on the back, and it doesn't say what colors they are, but I think they are Lemon Lime Twist, Lemon Lolly, Petal Pink, and probably Melon Mambo. They kind of have an iridescent look to them, kind of a shimmery iridescent. Okay, I'm going to set these guys aside because I didn't cut them down completely. I have plenty of other possibilities here. One other thing to mention, it also has a beautiful embossing folder with it. So this side is the kind of the raised side where the edges are raised. This side just kind of makes it where the flower itself is raised. So you could do this either way. I mean, you don't necessarily have to choose one or the other. And so what I thought we would do is try both of them with our either small blending brushes or Q-tips or whatever, and see which one we like better. I thought I might do, you could do a spotlight technique. I think that would be gorgeous, where you punch out with a circle and then layer that on top of the other one. I wish I had done that, but I did not think real quick. Here is a 1 3/4 punch. So let's try that real quick. I'm going to just punch a spot that I think is interesting on each one, which when I say interesting, it would be one that looks like it has a full flower in that particular spot. So I'm going to go kind of right here. It might have been better if I'd have had it scooted over just a little bit. And then with this one, looks like I'm gonna have to do the same one, but I think it is going to not quite fit. Okay, and so that uses my 1 3/4 punch, and then I'm gonna be on a search here for a slightly larger punch, which I'm not sure I'm going to find while you're watching this. Let's see what I have here. 2 inch, perfect. That is actually what I was hoping for. So maybe I would use maybe I would use the Daffodil Delight for one, and maybe for another I would use the Bubble Bath. One great thing about when you do something like this and you're going to use a base 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece, if you punch that on into the center, you're going to be left with a usable piece of paper, and no one is ever going to see that center is missing. So that's kind of a fun thing to do when you're using this. So there you can see what my plan would be here is just to pop that and put it right in the center. Okay, I'm going to turn it around where you can see. I'm going to pop a yellow under there, pop me some Daffodil Delight, and there you can see, oh, looks like I got that one a little big, but anyway, you can see here where we would put the Daffodil Delight on there. And then I'm gonna try this one. I'm wondering if it's also too big. Oh, it is. Let's see if I can. What I'm gonna try with this one first is using our blending brushes and maybe some, I'll use it in orange and I'll use it in the green, of course. I may have to use probably makes more sense actually to use a Q-tip like I was talking about, to use a Q-tip on the stems just so that I can highlight it. So, okay, I'm gonna set this up here and I'm gonna work on this real quick. Just gonna grab the yellow. This is the Daffodil Delight. Let's see if I can find it real quick. There we are. This is one of the brights color family. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of highlight the petals around to go along. Oh yeah, that'll be nice. Going along the raised portion here, along the edge of the flower. And the point of using these Q-tips is that you'll get it just on the raised portion. When you use these beautiful brushes, they will color the inside for you as well, which is great. I mean, because you want that. But I also want to get the edges of this so that they kind of pop. So it's almost like when you did like a scribble when you were a child, when you scribbled to make a picture appear. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like what you're doing here. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to get my orange, if I can. Let's see, I know I saw the orange one. Little orange brush. Let's see. Oh, this is my orange brush. Silly me. And then maybe just put a little bit in the center. Now you could, if you wanted to be more accurate, I guess, you could put a little more brown in there. But then I'm gonna take the green and try some, it doesn't really matter what color you choose, but I'm gonna choose Granny Apple right now. And just do the stem and maybe a little bit of a leaf. Just kind of right on the, okay, hold up. That's looking a little funny. Okay. Right there like that. And then a little bit of this leaf here on the side. Maybe a little leaf over here. Just to give it a little more interest. There. So there you can see how that just turned out with just a little bit, just a tiny bit of ink and a time. It was pretty simple, and it gave it a really nice look. So then to spotlight this, you would pop it on the yellow and put it inside. Then you would probably just want to add a sentiment. You could use maybe the That looks kind of cute. The pumpkin pie as your sentiment. You could add some ribbon maybe in the daffodil, but you would have to color it. The one I would suggest is this lemon lolly, and color it with the Daffodil Delight Blends marker, and that would be very pretty. You could also do a rustic look, something like this little ribbon here, and I think that would kind of add a little bit more of an earthy look to it and would be very pretty. Okay, then imagine really pretty blingy things there on the sides. Then I'm going to go ahead and work on this next one. Kind of try to see what I'm planning here. Thought I would use either or both Flirty Flamingo or the bubble bath. The bubble bath first. And now this side, I'm doing it where the petals are the part that stick out. So that's kind of just a different way of doing it. It doesn't really make a difference. It's just kind of a preference sort of thing. So this one's brand new. I haven't even used it yet. Whoops, my little tag came off that tells me what color it's supposed to be. All right. And then I'm just adding my bubble bath here, all around the edge. Oh, I need to put some yellow on the center before it gets too dark with pink. It may already be. Okay, so there's some yellow for my center. Just a little bit more here. Okay, I've got that done now. Then I'm gonna get some Flirty Flamingo and add just a little bit more. That kind of got muddy there. That was my bubble bath, but it kind of turned a brown color. So maybe this will, oh, it already is brightening it up. The Flirty Flamingo is a warmer toned color, and so it will bring more pop and shine there to our little guy. And then let's grab our green again. And I'm gonna just put it right here on the bottom where we would have our stems. Maybe a little over here on the side, like it's a stem. And then I think I'll ignore the rest of the extraneous things. There you can see that's pretty simple and pretty easy to do. Oh, this was not the color I intended to use here. I intended to talk about using it on a beautiful piece of our thick white cardstock, because I think it can be really, really pretty when you use the thick white cardstock with layered on with white, and then maybe a little pretty bow and this little thank you so much. I think that makes a sweet look. Now, I'm not sure that the Melon Mambo would be the way to go for our sequins on this. So there are some sequins in the big catalog that could be pretty. They are just, there's gold and blue and the bubble bath. And so I think that makes a really pretty look and kind of completes that card. All right, so let me put some of these things away now. Hope you all are doing well tonight. We have had 80 and 26, and now we're back chilly, but it's raining, and it actually sleeted today. So we've had a lot of interesting weather. For the next card I wanted to show you was just a card that I stamped the whole thing. I mean, I inked up the whole thing, the whole stamp with my crumb cake. Then I went back over with the Granny Apple Green, which made this look olive because there was brown around the stems. And then now I'm going to color with the light Lemon Lime Twist. Just kind of give it. I hope this doesn't take too long, but it kind of seems like it might. Kind of seems like I'm maybe spending too much time on it, but you can see here how nicely the blends color, and I can scribble. I'm a scribbler, and I don't have the patience to do a whole lot of layering. And that's what's great about the blends. If you are someone who loves to spend a lot of time layering, you can do that. And if you're someone like me who likes to scribble, you can do that. And it's very forgiving. And just a little bit of layering will look like you've really worked. And it really shows a lot of difference and texture if you just use a little bit of layering. So I'll show you what I'm talking about maybe on the stem. My goal right now is to just get some of these colored. So let me put a little bit of the darker lemon lime twist here, just kind of some lines there. Maybe coming up here. And I think you'll definitely notice a difference between the ones that I only colored with the light lemon lime twist and the ones where I added a little bit of dark. And it will, as I go over these, it will lighten the dark ones just a little bit. So there, let me lift that up where you can see it. I'll go ahead and finish this one too. Where it's almost like I've done like a stripe on this leaf down here. And then here I've just kind of highlighted it. I think you'll be able to see the difference. And how this one I just colored all with one color. Let me lift that up and see if you can see the difference. There we go. And now I'm going to add some yellow to the centers, but I don't want it to blend in with the other colors. I want it to just remain the bright yellow. So I'm just going in and putting in this. These are our Stampin' Right markers. So when I say that I used a marker to ink the stamp, this is the marker that I'm talking about because it is a water-based marker. And so when we're coloring on water-based ink, we use alcohol-based ink. And if we're coloring on alcohol-based ink stamps, then we use the water-based. But because I don't want this to smear at all, I am putting this in with my water-based markers. So what I'm doing is just adding a center, and I'm kind of highlighting it around the edges with my Lemon Lolly, a lighter yellow, to just kind of finish it off there. And let's see. Now I'm going to use my light orange, and it is called Pumpkin Pie. Just going to try to do a few spots here. And if one thing that's different about zinnias than maybe some other plants that you think of like there's a whole bush of one color of plant. Whereas with the zinnias, they can be right next to each other and be two totally different colors. So I think that would be fun to do these two different colors and this one with just the orange. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and kind of add some light there. And then I'm going to use my dark pumpkin pie. Kind of some places, any place that looks like maybe the light might not hit it as darkly, as strongly. I'm just going to make it a darker color. Just kind of here and there. And so you can do this 100 different ways. You can, there's a lot of variety in zinnias. So you could use something that makes it look like it's striped. I've seen the striped ones and speckled ones. So then I think that looks like I've kind of made a mess, but when I blend this together, I think it'll be nice. And you can see how I'm just coloring, not using that much effort, but I'm coloring, and it's just kind of really finishing this off. Go back over a couple of spots. So as you blend, you're taking color away from lighter colored portions and adding color to darker colored portions. So let me lift, whoopsie, let me drop that in my lap. Let me lift that up where you can see it. And then maybe on this other one, I might use maybe the Berry Burst. I think that could be really pretty on there. So let's see if I have one handy. I'm so funny when I put these in and then I can't remember which one is in which one. That is Blackberry Bliss. That would be way too dark. You wouldn't want to try Blackberry Bliss with this. You would completely cover over what I used for the, I'm not seeing. I thought we had Berry Burst. Maybe I was silly. But you wouldn't want to use the, oh yeah, I do have Berry Burst. See, I know stuff. Maybe a light and dark Berry Burst, and then a Melon Mambo might be nice. I'll just do one of these. I don't want you to get too bored. This is my dark Berry Burst. So what I'm doing here is just kind of going in some of the places I feel like look really dark. Maybe in the center, but also maybe along some of the outer edges, just a few places. This is a really dark color. Just kind of put in a little bit of color there. Okay, now that looks like a total mess right now, just kind of random on there, but I'm going to add some light Berry Burst. Kind of fill that out there. Fill out some of my edge pieces. And you can see I'm not trying to use the edge entirely. I'm kind of going around and just kind of clipping the edge there. Okay, I'm going to do some, this is my light Melon Mambo. I like to use the other end because what I'm doing with that end, you're not supposed to do. I only do that with this end that looks like a Sharpie. You don't want to do it with your painting end because that'll ruin it. You can see here I'm just kind of blending these together, and this is enough lighter than both the light and dark Berry Burst that you can see a little bit of what I've stamped underneath. You don't, like I was cautioning about the Blackberry Bliss, you don't want to lose all of your coloring underneath. There we are. Now this is one of the ones that is an online exclusive. I'll have to hunt that lid here in a second. I don't know where it went. And with the online exclusives, they're not available in a catalog. You can't see them in a catalog, but you can see them online just by clicking a link to online exclusives. And this one will be available tomorrow. Demonstrators get to get things early, see things before everyone else. So if you're interested in that, I'd be happy to have you on my team. Okay, so there you can see how I ended up with the Berry Burst. Kind of fun. And then you might put this on a piece of Lemon Lolly and layer it onto a piece of white or various other colors. And you could put your Berry Burst, thank you so much, on there. It would be super pretty. A white or some sort of green would be a gorgeous color to put on as your ribbon. I was trying to get the lemon lime twist ribbon, and I don't think I'm succeeding. I'm gonna have to cut it. Sometimes that happens. We just get things kind of caught around. There you are. You can see that pretty lemon lime twist. That would be gorgeous with a little tiny bow, and then tuck it under your thanks so much. So I think, you know, of course I would lift these up on some dimensionals and stuff, and I think that would be so pretty. And I would go ahead and finish this one. Of course, I didn't quite finish my, I didn't see that, but I didn't finish my coloring there on my green. But this one I would want to do in the same colors, because you can see that the stems go up and they go to the flower of the same plant. Okay, so that is that one. And then I kind of wanted to just show you a couple things here. This is what it looks like when it is on just a plain background. So that would be gorgeous to put behind any of these flowers as well. I do think that you can put so many of these on the actual papers. Like, so if you made your zinnia here and put it on this paper, that would be very pretty. You could add some green, you know, your leaves and your stem. And let's see here where you could add this kind of a stem, whichever. And that could be super pretty as far as making it a almost a monochrome, but then it really would pop on this. Let's see here. I don't think, I've tried it, but I don't think that you'll want to pop these guys on here. I think it gets a little lost. I think I would just use like a background piece and a sentiment on some of these larger prints, because they really do the work for you and make a really cute card that way. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here is put this on the Berry Burst. I was kind of torn here how I was going to put this together. Maybe I don't care for the Berry Burst. Maybe I should use the Melon Mambo. It's kind of a middle of the road color there. Okay, so there are so many pieces that I probably haven't even used them all, or used them properly. But you know, you've got a center of the flower where kind of this little ring kind of fits around like that. So you would use your button, I guess you'd call it, the button portion, with the little ring around that. Then there are some more little pieces here. If you didn't want to use them in the ring, you could just add your own wherever. So what I did was I punched these, or I cut these out in a variety of different sizes and colors, because I think you'll want to do some work with these and bend each petal of the flower down using your fingernail. That's what I do, to just kind of pull it, and you know, gently of course, but pull it into a curve, because these flowers definitely have a curve to them. So I'll just go ahead, and that would be the first step in doing this. And I guess I could have done more of these if I had thought. I was kind of thinking I wanted to show you, but yeah, I didn't need to show you every single one. But okay, so there's that. I'm going to do one more here. This is the Berry Burst, this is the Flirty Flamingo, and this is the Melon Mambo, and then the Bubble Bath. So it kind of copies off of the paper. It's not like this is my idea. You can see some of the Berry Burst layered with the Melon Mambo here on this paper, or you can see the Melon Mambo layered into with the Flirty Flamingo, and then the Flirty Flamingo layered with the Bubble Bath. So lots of little possibilities there. I'm just going to go ahead and finish this, because it'll be prettier when we're done if I go ahead and layer them. And I'll probably get a more, what would the word be? I'll probably get some more flowers done with these, you know, before I complete the card. But one thing about this particular print here, anything that you put on there is going to look like it was entirely your idea. It's not going to look like you're copying the paper. It's going to look fun. Okay, so I got these guys done. There are two different pieces here. I don't think I cut two different ones there, but I wanted to. So you can kind of offset the original, put it kind of on there like that, and then put more layers on top, then maybe another pink there, just kind of turn them sideways, and then another pink. I think that's probably too many, but putting another on top of the other is just kind of a pretty look. So maybe you would put these two with this one on top, and then these with this one on top. And you wouldn't have to have two. It looks to me like it's going to look nice and full, even if you just use 2 layers. And then let's go ahead and just focus on this one right now. Then I would put this on the top of it and this around it. And then I would add these little guys to it. I think it's gonna look more eye-catching though if I use a white base. So I'm gonna do that real quick. I'll grab this. This is one of our postage dies. And I'm just gonna layer it here. Maybe something like this would be pretty. Put this layer here. Then I could probably have used one of the smaller postage dies. And I'll pop this guy here. Now, I would probably use my glue dots to stick this together rather than glue, because it's going to kind of layer it up. And then I might even put between the layers, I might use a small dimensional. So, you know, when I say small, you know, it's these guys. And then pop these here. Then I might use a stem like that. Or this guy could also be cute. Kind of like they're just growing. And then I'm looking for, here we go, my petals. My other petal kind of come out of the stem like this. They're not really up close to the, I might have to do it like that. Yeah, because it's probably going to bug me otherwise. But there you can see what a sweet card that makes. And then you just add your little sentiment here. And that would be almost a completely die cut card. All you've had to do is add a sentiment. Maybe put on some pretty ribbons and your card is complete. So you can see that I had a lot of trouble editing tonight because there are so many pretty options with this. You can do the die cut look. And then I also did, let's see here, get stuff out of my way there. I also did a layer using the, oh, and that slid off. Okay, using the stamped kind of grouping, bouquet grouping. Then I did a spotlight technique on 2 different cards where you pop it up and color it, and that makes it kind of fun. This was using the embossing folder. I think I prefer this yellow one. I think it is kind of nicer. It kind of has more contrast. And then I showed that you can use most of the papers as well as a gorgeous card. And just add one of your sentiments. I could grab any out from under there. And some ribbon and some bling, and your card would be finished. And I appreciate you hopping by tonight, and thank you for watching.